Hi guys, so in this video I plan to give you guys an update on my skincare routine. Stay tuned. Hi, this is Brittany and you're watching Locked Queen Bee. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. And if this is your first time with us, welcome. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and also click on the bell so that you get notifications whenever I upload a new video. Also, don't forget to thumbs up this video if you like it. Alrighty, let's go ahead and get into it. So, I think that the last time that I did my video was probably a year ago, and at that time I was really experimenting with Paula's Choice products, which I still am using to this day. So let me go ahead and give you a refresher of the products that I was using. So I was using BHAs, I was using a on-the-spot treatment, I was using moisturizer, and that was pretty much it. So this is what I started with, the BHA liquid. Then I also had a AHA gel, and so this is more for like the surface of your skin, and the BHA gets more into your pores. Just a quick refresher in case you guys are new to using actives on your face. And so I was also using AHA moisturizer. I may have switched from a different brand. I really wanted to use this one because this is for black people, so this is why I'm gonna try my best to stick with that product. I was also using this acne free as a spot on treatment. I'm gonna get into why I switched from using this a little bit later in the video. I also used AHA fade cream just to get rid of any hyperpigmentation that I have on my skin. I've known about this product basically since I was in high school, and this is again a line just for black people, so I think it's going to work really well, and it's been working really well. Okay, so let me go through what I'm currently using. I had been using the BHA gel for a while, so I switched to this maybe 6 months ago. I really wanted to use the gel because I felt like the liquid was drying my face out to where, like when I smile sometimes, it's kind of hard to do it because my face feels so dry. And I was using the liquid twice a day, and so with the gel I was doing the same thing. But what I found was that for some reason I was really super oily and I hated it. Like I would wash my face, put the gel on, put the moisturizer on, and I remember one time I did that and my mom was like, "Oh, you look oily." I was like, "What? I just put moisturizer on. What are you talking about?" And so I was planning to stick with it, and for some reason I ended up ordering this guy. I ended up getting the BHA liquid when I meant to get the gel, and so obviously I'm not gonna not use this because that's a waste of my money, so I'm gonna use this. But what I've decided to do is cut down to 1 time a day, so I only use it at night currently. I don't know how I feel about it because with the gel you just kind of put it on your face and it just kind of, it doesn't cake on your face, but it gives me like a weird sheen to where it makes me feel like my face is plasticky, and I don't like that look. And with this, what I'm noticing is that I don't feel as oily, I don't look as oily, and so this has been working out for me as of right now. So one other thing I want to add about this is that I think between the gel and this, I like using the liquid because the liquid I use a cotton pad to put on, and I can kind of see all of the dirt coming off, so I feel like it is exfoliating my skin, whereas with the gel you just put it on and you kind of like don't know what's happening, you know what I mean? So I feel like the liquid and using a cotton pad, it produces more results, right? And so my whole point in saying that is that just using the BHA liquid 1 time a day with a cotton pad is making me less oily. I feel like that's what I should stick with instead of going back to the gel once this bottle is empty. The AHA, I really liked this at first because this was a gel, and at the time I was using the BHA liquid, and so it was then that I realized, hey, I'm using 2 different products with different textures, and so this is what made me switch to the BHA gel. I honestly have not even really used this. I only use this probably once every like 3 months or something. Like, this is not something that is very heavy in my routine. Okay, next up, so I definitely need to be using a fade cream. I have dark marks all over my face. I have it right here and then down here, and the same thing on the other side. and definitely on my nose because I break out on my nose a lot. And so this has come in handy, and it's kind of like sped up the process of lightening those dark marks, which I'm really happy about, because if it wasn't for this product, I have no idea what I would be using. I feel like I would be using something that's kind of like overkill, if that makes sense, and so my face would be like patchy and white and not how I want it to look. And so I'm really glad that I'm able to find this. I can find this at Walgreens, I can find it at the beauty supply store. It's easily accessible, and that's what I really like about it. So now that we're talking about dark spots, so let's get into something that I've noticed with using my on the spot treatment. So I mentioned earlier that this is what I started out using, and this honestly was probably a move of desperation, because back then, like a year ago, I was breaking out a lot, and it just felt like I would get over one breakout, another bump would pop up, and it was just horrible. And so I think I went to this 10% benzoyl peroxide out of desperation, because I really just wanted to clear up whatever breakouts were happening on my face. And what I started to notice was that because I was putting this on a lot, and because it's so strong, this would actually create my hyperpigmentation. Don't get me wrong, so there are some products that will just cause scarring no matter what, but they won't cause as much scarring. So this definitely created a lot of scarring for me. Like basically every time I treated a breakout, it turned into a dark mark, which meant that I had to rely on this more to clear up any hyperpigmentation. So what I decided to do was I decided to go down in strength. So I have this Neutrogena 2.5% benzoyl peroxide, and it's made a huge difference. So I do get some scarring, it's just not as dark or as noticeable as what I was getting with the 10% benzoyl peroxide. And I do put this on several times a day if I have a breakout, and what I find is that my breakouts are going down a little bit faster, a little bit more than they were with other products, and there's less scarring. So this is definitely something that I would recommend using if you are looking for a on-the-spot treatment. Okay, so next up I have this 25% leave-on, is a leave-on and then you wash it off exfoliant, and this was something that I was really excited to use because I felt like I needed something stronger than the BHAs. And so what I like about this is that it's stronger. I put it on my face and then I wash it off 10 minutes later, and I feel like I'm now noticing a difference. I've been using this product for at least 2 months, and I only use it once a week. And at first I wasn't sure if it was what I needed, like if it was working or not. And so because like the first time I put it on, I didn't really feel any tingling or anything like that, and then the second time, you know, same thing. And then as I got more uses in of this product, it felt like I noticed more tingling. And so to me that indicates irritation, but also that it's working, because I want it to be peeling my skin. So this is definitely something that I recommend if you are looking for something stronger to help with just shedding layers of your skin, so that you can have more youthful looking skin underneath. Okay, so this next product is a very big deal in my skincare routine. So back when I was washing my face a year ago, I was using like very gentle store-bought face washes that really weren't doing anything for my skin. So I grew up using Cetaphil. I used to pronounce it Cetaphil, but it's Cetaphil. And I grew up using that as a child, and for some reason I had it in my head that, okay, this is the product that's gonna prevent me from having breakouts, because when I was using it when I was like 5 or something, from like 5 to 10 or whatever, I didn't really have any breakouts or whatever. And then when I started breaking out, that's when I started experimenting with different products. And so I kind of wanted to go back to what seemed to be working for my skin back then. And so I used that for a while, and I just felt like nothing was happening with my skin in terms of how it looked. And so the product that I'm going to talk about next is a Zinc Pyrithione bar, and I have the bar here. Excuse all of the hair on it, it's not that big of a deal, we'll just ignore it. I'm not going to get into why that's like that, but this bar was something that I've been wanting to use, but the original bar that I was using is no longer in stock, and that was the GMP bar. So the GMP bar is a really big deal because it was actually recommended to me in 2008 by a Black dermatologist, which is key because this is prescribed by someone who is familiar with black skin because she has black skin and she also has black patients. And so she recommended this bar to me over all of these pricey products that she could have, you know, recommended or prescribed for me. And this is a very basic, like $10 bar, if that. And this actually really worked well for me in high school. My skin looked clear. I still broke out, but I didn't look like a piece of ice, basically. And so what happened was, maybe in 2010 or 2011, maybe even 2012, this bar was no longer in stock, so it was very hard to find it. And so what that meant for me was that I had to find another product to use. And so I think then I switched to like Proactive. I went to store-bought products, and then I went to like using oils on my face. And so it was a really big disaster because I couldn't really find anything that was working well for me. And so when I went to go back to using a Zinc Pyrithione bar, I tried Noble Formula at first, and I didn't like that bar because, well, when you look at the bar compared to the one that I just held up, so this is just like a solid white bar. The Noble Formula, that bar was made of like oats, and so like it was, you could tell that there was some texture to it. It was like a, maybe like a off-white or a like tan looking bar, and then you could see like the oats like on the surface. And so the purpose of that is for exfoliation, and I don't need exfoliation since I'm using these chemical acids, and so I felt like it was overkill. I wasn't using the acids at the time that I tried that, but now I feel like it would be overkill because I don't want to do manual exfoliation. I want to use chemicals. What I didn't like about that bar was that Noble Formula, it left like a film on my skin, and I didn't feel like it was actually cleaning it. And so I probably used that bar for like a week or so, and then I got rid of it, and then just kind of tried to find something else that would maybe work for me. And so what made me go back to this was that my current face washes, I felt like it wasn't really doing anything or adding anything to my routine, and I didn't feel like the chemicals were working as well as they could have been working. And so I decided to go to I can't remember the name of this brand. I'll link it up on the screen somewhere. But what I like about this bar is that it's very similar to the ZMP bar. The ZMP bar was blue, this bar is white. But the ZMP bar, it lathered like a lot. Like you didn't need, so you just wash your hands, wet your hand, rub the bar soap, and then you just wash your face. And so you don't need a lot of product, and it lathers really well. And so I wanted that same sensation, that same effect when I was using another bar that also has Zinc Pyrithione in it. So this white bar is doing very well at having the same effect of a ZMP bar, and I really feel like it's made a huge difference in my skincare routine. My skin is not where I want it to be, but it looks a lot better than it did a year ago. And I feel like I'm finally starting to see some of these marks that I've had on my face for like over 2 years probably. I'm finally starting to see those lighten and not be as noticeable. So yeah, so that is an update on my skincare routine. I definitely recommend checking out Paula's Choice, the BHAs and the AHA if you're interested in using that, because I feel like it's really made a big difference in my skin. It has probably been over a year and a half since I've used like a manual scrub, either the store-bought scrubs with the little beads in them, any type of machine used to exfoliate. I haven't done any of that in a year. I've only relied on chemicals to exfoliate my skin, and I'm really happy that I went that route because I'm very heavy-handed, and so what I like to do is use a lot of product, and then I'm just like, because I don't realize sometimes how heavy-handed I am, I'm probably over scrubbing my face when I was using those scrubs and everything, and so that probably did a lot more damage than I needed for my face at that time because I need to be gentle and all of that. And so I'm really glad that I found these chemical acids to use for exfoliation because when I was younger, growing up, I actually went to a spa like maybe once every week or every 2 weeks to get exfoliation done and to get extractions done, and that's not something I do anymore. And so it has been really hard to get that same level of care for my skin now and at home, and so this is definitely a great alternative. these products aren't super expensive. This is like a $30 bottle. This is probably a little bit more expensive. It's $40 to $50, but it's definitely worth it. Like, I've used it maybe 5 or 6 times, and it still feels like this is maybe 3/4 full, so it goes a long way. And so yeah, so I think I'm definitely gonna stick with the Zinc Pyrithione bar, because I feel like that is just like a huge game changer for me. My moisturizer, how I made that comment about my mom saying that I looked oily or greasy, I do want to still stick with this, so I don't think I'm gonna switch it out, because when you are using these chemical actives, you want to make sure that you are using sunscreen. And so what was really difficult for me, it was difficult to find something, a moisturizer that had sunscreen, that had salicylic acid in it. So fun fact, I actually learned how to pronounce this word after doing this video, so I want to go ahead and pronounce it correctly now. Salicylic acid. And all of that, so I could either find something that had one or the other, but not both. And this does not have both, but this is something that I want to use because it's for black skin. Okay, so yeah, so I do have another product that I want to talk about that is also by Polish Choice. This is the body BHA product, so this goes on your body, not on your face. And so I bought this because I suffer with acne on my shoulders, on my arms, and then on my lower back. And so I was using this and even some of the BHAs and AHAs for your face on my back and on my shoulders, and I didn't really notice anything happening. And so I wanted to get this product specifically for my body so that I wasn't wasting my face product. And honestly, I probably used this for maybe like a month or so, and then I stopped using it. And so with me going back to the Zinc Pyrithione, what I did was I got Head and Shoulders for my hair, and I also, when I was doing research into this, I was also looking at products that I could use to treat the acne on my lower back. And so what I found out was that you can actually use Head and Shoulders on your body if you're having problem areas from like acne or any other type of skin irritation. And so the reason why I have this huge bottle of Head and Shoulders, let me go grab it for you. Okay, so we have the bottle. This is the bottle of Head and Shoulders that I'm using. I got this from my local beauty supply store. It's a really huge bottle. It was only $15. At first I didn't want this much because I wanted to just try it out, but at the same time this is a good value because there's a smaller bottle that was probably either half the size or 3/4 of the size, and it was like $8. And so obviously if you're trying to save money, get the $8 thing. But this was like, if you want to save money like in the moment, not like long term, get the cheaper one. But this, I just decided to get this. And so what I've been doing is I have been using this in a spray bottle on my hair so that I can dilute it because I have locks. And then I've also been using this in the shower on my body. And the reason why I'm happy that I got this much, because it's still pretty full. I don't know if you can see the line. Can we see the line with the shadow? No, we can't see the line, whatever. So I knew that I wanted to use Zinc Pyrithione on my body, and I didn't want to use my bar because that meant my bar would be wet longer, and also it would kind of like go faster, if that makes sense. So this bar is pretty thick, and I've been using it for a while, and it's still like a lot left. And so I knew that if I used this in the shower, it would kind of melt faster, and I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to have to buy like 2 bars a month. Like, this bar should probably last for 5 months or something like that, you know what I mean? And so I wanted to use this on my body. It's been working out pretty well. I do still have breakouts, but I feel like they're under more control than they were with the actives, because I did use this or the gel on my back at first, and I felt like it wasn't doing anything. And so I feel like when I went to using the Head and Shoulders on my body, I think that that's made a little bit of a difference, and that it's actually treating those areas and doing something to show that it's working, if that makes sense. And so yeah, so I'm really happy that I went to Head and Shoulders because it allows me to use Zinc Pyrithione in more areas than just my face. So yeah, that is an update on my skincare routine. I hope that all of this has been helpful for you. If there is any one of these products that you feel like you want to try or that you already use and it's working for you, definitely let me know in the comment sections below. If you have any questions about anything that I didn't address or go over, definitely add those in the comment section as well. And if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.